Okay. So what did you do for your Gold Award project?
So I actually did an international festival. I did an international festival for my Gold Award, and it was also a collaborative project, and it was my senior thesis as well for my senior year.
All right. So, why did you choose to do an international festival?
I actually wanted to do international affairs and become a diplomat, so I was trying to incorporate my college and career aspirations, and I figured the best way to do that and actually have the community involved was to do an international festival.
Cool. So tell me about the festival. I was there, but tell me kind of what kind of groups were there and what all went into it.
Let's see. Well, we had a bunch of different groups. We did food demonstrations and samples. We had arts and crafts, so we did like henna and calligraphy, and we also had dancing lessons and performances. We had a bunch of different groups. We just tried to pull from the whole community because we have a lot of culture within the community, and so I really wanted to just emphasize the fact that there is a lot of cultural differences and the unity between the groups.
So what did you learn about yourself by doing this?
I definitely learned that I'm really good at communicating and actually getting my point across and having people work with me, even though I had no budget, except for, I had $200 from my troupe, but otherwise I was basically stating I have no budget. So none of my performers actually had any money. They were all volunteering, which was wonderful, but it was also a tremendous effort for both them and I to get them to come out and say, this you're not going to get paid for, but it would be really great for the community if you came out and did this, and it would really benefit both of us. Mm-hmm. So that was kind of my event and my trouble.
Excuse me. So, what did you learn about the community by doing this?
I definitely learned that we have a lot of wonderful people within the community, and we really don't actually reach out as much as we should. There's a lot of groups that we don't see and we don't hear about that if you just go out and look for them, they're there. And you can actually have a lot of wonderful people come out and work with you for events and do some really wonderful things.
So is this, I knew it's a really big deal, is this type of project that you would encourage others to do, or you would, say it was worth doing?
It was definitely worth doing. It's definitely one of those things that you have to have a commitment for. I started planning this 8 months in advance. That's an extensive time period, and I actually had to have basically all of my stuff together 2 months in advance for any sudden problems that would occur and any just, downfalls that might exist. And so it was a lot of work, but it was well worth the work.
So how did you benefit by doing this?
I definitely benefited in making connections and learning how much I am actually capable of. And I found that I'm much more capable of things than I thought I was, and I can actually do more, and I'm very good at actually planning events. I've learned that.
There you go. So, what are your long-term plans? Are you going to go to college next year?
Definitely going to college. I'm definitely going to college. I don't really know where yet. I have a lot of options right now, and I applied to 13 schools. I've been accepted to 9 so far, waiting for the other 4. But pretty much just kind of seeing what I have, what scholarships I have, and planning from there. And then I definitely am thinking about the Peace Corps. The problem is I am diabetic, so I don't know if they'll actually allow a diabetic into the Peace Corps due to the restrictions and going out into places where there isn't electricity and refrigerators and things that I need. But that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I want to go to college. Peace Corps diplomat is my 5-year plan, sort of. But so far, if that fails, I'm going to do college, find a job that leads me to becoming a diplomat. So that's what I have in mind right now.
That's really awesome. My sub-sister, she's in the Peace Corps right now. She's in Burkina Faso. And she sat on an alligator for the very first time. I'm like, you sat on it? Yeah, I did. So when did you become involved in Girl Scouts?
I think first grade. Yeah, first grade was my real run-in with it. There was a troop in kindergarten, but I was just kind of, doing the kindergarten thing. I wasn't really sure who I was hanging out with, and so first grade was when we were like, okay, let's give it a try. And from then on, I actually was part of Girl Scouts.
So why have you remained involved in scouting?
I knew the benefits of it. I definitely knew, especially with the Gold Award, what it helps with, and the scholarships, and how people really look at you differently if you say, I have a Gold Award. It really helps with colleges and stating, I've done this and I'm able to achieve this. So I stuck with that. And also, lots of my friends went to different schools, and that's kind of our tying. That's how we hang out and meet and catch up on things.
I understand that. Yeah. So, how have you benefited from your involvement in Scouts?
I've definitely had the benefit of going out and playing in the wilderness, because I love running around and getting dirty, and definite tomboy, and so I just love that. And there was that opportunity to actually go out, and then I also got to be with my mom and my sister, and so we all had that tie-in, and lots of my friends, we all did a lot of group things, and we've just kind of stuck around and done some fun stuff, so it's definitely been an enjoyment.
So why do you think Girl Scouts is important, particularly for older girls? Not so much the brownies and the juniors, but for people your age.
It's definitely important because, lots of girls actually don't do their senior and ambassador, and they don't actually go through with the Gold Award, and they don't understand the benefits of it, and I think that's one thing that needs to be advocated, because they don't really get what they're missing and the opportunities they're missing just by not doing that. And so it's really a good thing to actually go through and see and actually do the process, and then you learn a lot about yourself. And you're also saying, well, even if I didn't do the Gold Award, I still committed to Girl Scouts the whole time. So it's one of those benefits, committing to something.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing this video project, is because so many girls drop out, when they hit middle school. And so, what are some of the benefits that you see?
You definitely keep that little kid side of you, and you still get to do, pretty much most of the time we do arts and crafts. We do a lot of arts and crafts. We do a lot of silly things, and we still have that chance of being a kid and having fun and having those opportunities. And definitely you have your friends from all the way from first grade. The ones that stick with you are the ones that you're going to remember, and you have that tie, and so you can always call them up and know that they'll know what's going on and have that benefit.
So what does Girl Scouts mean to you?
Girl Scouts is kind of like my second family, because I have a lot of families, honestly. I have a bunch of different families, but Girl Scouts definitely, with my friends, it's my mom and then my sister and I's friend's mom, and so we're all really close, and we're all still in Girl Scouts, and so it's one of those things where we have this big group, and it's nice. So
that's really cool. So I think those are, I'll go back and see what they asked. Okay. So what was your favorite experience as a Girl Scout?
I've had some interesting experiences. I was kind of the one that would pick up dirt and play in the dirt and draw and do interesting things, but probably I loved, I'm trying to think, Rocky Point is the one with the rowing, right? And the kayaking? Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's probably my favorite, because we actually found a turtle and there were bones, and so of course I was fascinated. I was like, this is the coolest thing ever, and I really enjoyed that, because that's kind of my forte of going out into the wilderness and actually experiencing it and being a part of it. And then we had a raccoon and all sorts of cool stuff. It's
really cool.
Definite fun, interesting things.
Yeah, well, so it sounds like, then what skills did you build at camp?
I learned how to build a fire. I got really good at that. They actually used me on when I went on a mission trip with my friends, we actually used me as the fire starter, because no one else knew how to. Well,
you were the fire starter. They didn't use you as the fire starter.
No, they didn't use me as I think they tried, but I wouldn't let them. I was like, I'm sure they would have tried if they knew how to, but since I was the only one who knew how to start the fire, it was kind of like should we do that? But I did learn a lot just from being in and having a lot of fun and doing a lot of crazy things. And I definitely learned that you can be yourself and you can really just enjoy whatever you want to. And if they don't accept you, then they don't, but you can still go out and do your own thing, and it's fine.
I like it. So when you talk about, camp to family and friends, what's the one word that describes it?
Crazy. I'm like, spontaneous.
Works. Okay. So that was the questions they had. So I want to go back one thing for about your project. Mm-hmm. So I guess how did the community benefit from what you did?
Well, I'm really hoping that the community benefited as building just networks. That's kind of what my goal was to build networks. And actually, my school is trying to make this a tradition now, which is wonderful. It's I'm actually planning out the binder, and I'm handing it over to them and saying, here you go, this is all the steps I take, this is who I contacted, these are the people who really said, and they were really good about working with me and working with my time schedule and everything, and these are the people that I think if we had money would be excellent additions to our event. And so that's really nice. So I've built a lot of networks, and I've built an actual network for myself just in my college when I go to college, because I want to do international affairs, just that whole building of intern possibilities and finding out. Actually, the DFW World Affairs Council was there, and I spoke with them, and they told me about doing an intern there, so I'm excited, and I'm going to fill out the paperwork for that and see about that.
Very cool. So what are your top college choices?
My top college choices right now are Austin College, because they have a wonderful international affairs program and study abroad. So, and it's close to home, and since I'm close to my sister, it's kind of that good option. And then Loyola in New Orleans. Yeah, they give me, So I have two really good options. They're pretty strong, and they're really good liberal arts small. So that's kind of what I was leaning towards, and I'm excited that I got decent scholarships for them, and I can actually go there probably. So.
That's really cool. That's awesome. So I think that's all the questions. Is there anything else about your project or about being in Girl Scouts that I didn't ask you that you would like to say? Because this is primarily for Girl Scouts, for younger Scouts, for fellow ambassadors, and also for like foundations when they go ask money. So is there anything else?
Definitely try different options. Don't think inside the box. Always think outside the box. I mean, I had to do a lot of really weird things to have people come out and do my event and actually be a part of it. And I had to really go out there and really work at communicating, and that's the most important thing, is actually communicating and being able to communicate. And I think one of the things is Girl Scouts, if you stick with it, you actually learn that communication process. If you just go out there and try. And it's all about trying new things. You might as well just continue and try again. That's basically it.
Okay. So I've got one more thing. I'm going to need you to look at the camera for this.
Okay.
And just say like I am your first name. So it'd be like, I'm Alexis, I'm 8, are you 18?
Yes.
Okay, like I'm Alexis, I'm 18 years old, and I'm an ambassador scout. Or an ambassador scout?
I think I'm an ambassador, yeah.
Yeah, I think they were, yes, that's what you, so if you,
I don't know.
yeah, so then just look right at the camera.
I'm Alexis, I'm 18, and I'm an ambassador scout.
Okay. I'm going to zoom in for a minute and do it again.
Okay.
Okay, you want to do it one more time?
I'm Alexis, I'm 18, and I'm an ambassador scout.